What's good everyone, it's Zigzag here, welcome back to another GeoWizard video. So pretty much every single person watching this video right now knows about GeoWizard. He is the OG GeoGuessr YouTuber and the person that got me into the game. And one thing that we could say about GeoWizard is that over the years he has done tons of play-along GeoGuessr videos. Now I decided to go to videos from 3 or 4 years ago and have a go at the challenge links. It is possible that I watched some of these videos at the time and that I may remember some of these rounds. I'm not sure at all, but one thing I can say for sure is I've never played the links. So let's jump in here, see how we do and see how we go against Tom's scores. I'm going to play NMPZ even though moving is allowed, but you have to remember that there was no option for NMPZ or no moving back when this seed came out. Okay, here we are into the first round. We're playing Diverse World. Obviously, that's long since been deleted. We have a number of Dutchas here. So this is a Dutcha and this is a Dutcha as well. That is the car brand that's most common in Romania. They're manufactured there. I couldn't say this gave me a massive Romanian vibe, but the longer I look at it, the more I kind of like that. Number one, because the lines and the parking lines are really thick, which is something you often see in Romania. And number two, because we appear to have quite a romance-influenced language. Now, I'm also noticing in the distance here, we do have black backs of the signs. So yeah, I think actually this is Romania and I just had missed the vibes initially. It's really interesting in history, Romania is a big fan of France. They had originally modeled their system after the French one, as far as I know. So you do kind of get this French influenced architecture, which we can kind of see here in the apartment buildings. This is clearly a bigger city. Bucharest came to mind. I could also really see Cluj-Napoca working quite nicely or something in the northwest. I'm not really sure which of the two is best here, and there probably is some clue I could glean here, but I'm not too sure. So I think I might just try Cluj here. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably one of the two. Brasov also possible. One of the bigger cities. So let's give Cluj a go here. And it was actually this one. And of course, many people in this challenge got it. I think that will be the case for every seed we play today, though. Okay, next one here is super interesting. We have round concrete poles, and immediately what my eye is drawn to is these rock walls on the side of the road. Now, I'm noticing we have no blue strip on the plate. That is something you see relatively often on islands. So for example, I was thinking of Sardinia here, or maybe even Sicily, just because the way it works is you need a blue strip to travel to other countries in Europe, as far as I know. And if you don't have one and you're on an island, it doesn't really make much of a difference because you're probably not taking your car to another country anyway. So yeah, that's my main thought here. Either of those two places. I think the landscape is probably more consistent with a Sardinia because Sicily tends to be a bit more mountainous, but you do get these flatter regions there as well. So yeah, I do think kind of one of the two here. What do I actually prefer? Maybe it is more Sicilian. We do seem to be quite populated here. It's really hard to say, but you know, it is also possible that we might not be in Italy here. I guess the second option would be Greece or Spain, and probably of the two, I guess, Spain. But actually with this poll, probably neither fit particularly well. So yeah, I'm going to go for Italy here. I will actually make a last minute switch to Sicily here instead, over in this valley here. Okay, well, Sardinia, that's unfortunate. It was, you know, it was a bit of a 50-50, I don't know. I just kind of thought that the rock wall might be more common here, but they're pretty common in both places, so not too bad. Next one here, pretty easy Kyrgyzstan. We can pretty much go through this one quickly. We have the mirror here. It looks more like the kind of eastern style of mirror. The kind of vibes here are maybe like that valley around Narin. I mean, we are going west, slightly northwest. It is very dry here. I do think it is somewhere probably in this Narin valley. If we're going west, slightly northwest, let's pick this. It's kind of likely to be correct, I think. If not, shouldn't be too far away, in my opinion. And okay, was actually in this valley here instead. That also makes sense, but I just kind of thought this one's a bit longer, so it might be more likely. My mistake, though. So we're on a pretty good score here, but let's see what's happening on the next one. Oh, we have a very, like, red-tinted road here. And the whole round looked more Canadian to me, which is the really interesting thing, because those red roads are not too common in Canada. But actually, this is giving me a bit of troubles. Maybe it actually is more likely to be the US here. I mean, we have rumble strips on the outside of the highway. You can see that in both places, but probably is a little bit more common in the US. The more I look at these trees, the more I do consider US. We have eastern white pines, which are obviously common, really common in both countries. We have these bollards here. Does that maybe look like a Pennsylvanian bollard? Something like that. The problem is, like, Pennsylvania does not really have red roads, so yeah, I'm not too sure what I think of this round, to be honest with you. If it was Canada, I would expect New Brunswick. It looks like we are a bit shieldy here, in the sense that we do have these rocks on the side of the road, so that would probably put us more like this direction here. And to be fair, there are some red roads in Ontario. Did not mean to zoom. This is a wooden signpost, so maybe I do prefer it all in all. It's definitely tough to say. I don't recognize the bollards. I don't even recognize the country, but I will actually try Ontario here instead. That's actually my ultimate call here. Mostly the reason being we do have these rocks on the side of the road, which are just like associated with the Canadian shield, which you know, kind of runs like this. So I'll try Ontario here. Not entirely confident. Let's find out. And it was actually, oh my gosh, man. Yeah, I said like Pennsylvania, those bollards are common there, but the red roads are not. And we're just over the border. That's a pretty crazy one. Not that they're particularly common in Maryland either, but you know, definitely a tough round, and also surprisingly Canadian looking on an NPZ there. Not a mistake I make too often these days. Next one here, no way we'd be on Sardinia again, right? Because we have these like prickly pears, which are really common. If we're talking about Europe, which this looks like Europe, right? Then they're really common on Sardinia. So, I mean, a double Sardinia seed would be pretty crazy. But I could definitely see it here. I really could. As I said, like, they're just really most common there. They're not too common elsewhere. They're mostly found in Italy. Is that the ocean east? I think it is. And we have quite a flat bit here as well. We can actually kind of line that up a bit. We have a flat bit down here. We want it to be really quite flat though. And Sardinia tends to keep it quite hilly on the east coast, from what I can tell here. Like, there are options, namely where I have it right now, but it doesn't feel too good. Maybe this, actually. That's pretty decent. Okay, I could see that. I could, and maybe I'm considering just going Sicily again here. Is that bad, guys? I know they have a lot of the prickly pears on Sicily as well, actually. Oh, no way I make the wrong call twice in a row doing this. The coastline does fit better here, but I don't know if it would be that green on the coast of Sicily. Oh, don't make me do the wrong choice twice. Watch me do the wrong one twice and I go, like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go for this. I'm not gonna switch this time, and let's see how wrong I am. Oh no, it was over here. Okay, that really makes sense with the coastline, because I was noticing that the Sardinian coastline was a bit jagged, whereas this one was a bit smooth. So that actually makes quite a bit more sense to me. The Italy guesses were subpar. Everything else was fine. 20,000. Now let's see how GeoWizard played it. Okay, he was also playing no moving, scrolling, or zooming. I mean, go check out the video if you don't want the spoilers from 4 years ago. But yeah, let's see what kind of score GeoWizard managed. And so we'll skip forward, and there we go. Okay, so we can see he got 13,600, which is honestly a pretty respectable score. He happened to go somewhere up in the Scandinavian countries for the American one. Clearly missed out on the vibes for Italy, but got the Romania. Actually also guessed Cluj, I think, which is interesting. So that's kind of nice that we had solidarity in that. We also see that he actually went Norway there. Pretty reasonable guess, I feel. And then actually got Kyrgyzstan correct as well, which makes sense. He got 13,000 points, which is a pretty decent score. So yeah, it's a good effort from GeoWizard, and I say let's head through to the next game. Urban World this time. Not really my strong suit, urban maps. This time I think actually is a moving game, but we're going to play NMPZ again to see if we can rival GeoWizard's score on NMPZ, of course. We have a interesting round here. This should be southern-ish Brazil, I imagine. Okay, wow, I really had an itchy nose, and we have 50 seconds now. I did not realize this was timed. Okay, I do think this is going to be eastern Brazil. We have these ninja stars on the power lines, really common out there. And then it just feels like a bigger city to me. It does feel kind of quite developed, newer architecture on the left of the screen here. I'm thinking this is probably Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro, or Belo Horizonte. If I had to pick 3 cities to name. Of the 3, I'm not too sure. I think these ninja stars are really common in Belo Horizonte. Then again, I do think it is quite flat here. Okay, we do have a hill. Maybe I do prefer that. I'm not too sure. I think I actually do prefer Sao Paulo out of the 3 the most. But let's find out where it actually is. Okay, it was actually all the way out east here. Wow, I did not expect such hills. But yeah, this city has surprised me about how hilly it is before. So Foz do Iguaçu is the actual answer there. Did not realize how big Ciudad del Este is in Paraguay. Yeah, in Paraguay there. So that's kind of an interesting one. But yeah, only 2,700 points. Not the greatest start. We had relatively little to go off of there. I'm curious to see how GeoWizard did on this one. Let's head through to the next one though. Okay, we're going to be somewhere in the US clearly. This is definitely the type of round where GeoWizard would probably have gotten the right city. So we're going to have to cook it up a bit here. I wondered about Washington, D.C. Some of these buildings feel quite old and official. I do think we're near some like state capital, if not the nation capital. These reflectors with a little ridge on them are also really common in the east of the US. So they go from Illinois over to Pennsylvania and then kind of hug this rectangle like that. And then they're also found in Massachusetts, or is that another type? But anyway, it's definitely this kind of area. That makes Washington, D.C. feel pretty good here, to be honest with you. I definitely think it's likely that they use those reflectors there. I guess the question is, like, could this just be another, like, state capital? I think that's really quite likely. But I do like the flatness for Washington. I don't know, the whole round does give me, like, kind of, like, big, important city vibes. So I think I'm pretty happy to go with it here. I guess my only concern is that a state flag? And could that mean something else? I'm not too sure. It kind of looks like an Ohio state flag, maybe? I don't know. I think I'm more comfortable with Washington, D.C. So let's go. Near Capitol Hill. Let's test it out. And... oh, it was Columbus, Ohio. It was an Ohio state flag. I'm glad I said it because I hadn't thought it the whole time. So I guess that's a museum of art. Is Columbus the capital city of Ohio? I'm actually not too sure about that. What would I have thought? Something tells me it probably is, but can we find the Capitol building? I don't see it after a little check. I think at this stage we're almost certainly behind GeoWizard, but hopefully there's some hard rounds to pull us ahead here. Let's see what happens. Okay, well, this is not looking good. I think it's Paris, actually. I really wasn't confident at first, but I'm looking over the apartment buildings in the right-hand side here. I do just love Paris. And also, looking at this lamp as well, very, very French-style lamp, I would say. You do see it elsewhere as well, but I think I'm really liking Paris here. If not another French city, why not Paris? It would make sense. I think it would make sense. We've got these Trekker. I do think so. So I'm going to plonk it there, but I'm going to have a look around here now that I've made my plonk. Let's have a look at these buildings. Do they feel particularly Parisian? Looking around, it feels decent, although is that a hill? Okay, if that's a hill, we're in deep trouble, because clearly Paris does not have any mountains nearby. Flag is also kind of strange. And what about this? Okay, front plate. Could that be an Italian plate? Maybe. I think we might have gone wrong here. Well, it's just about time to find out, but I guess, I mean, it could be a northern Italian city, like it could be like Turin or something. I still think this is France. Not sure about that plate. Let's send it in here and see how wrong we are. Okay, it was Geneva. Okay, that makes sense. Similar architecture style. We've consistently got about 400 kilometers away so far, which has not been ideal, to say the least. But let's see what happens on the next one here. We're in Korea. Again, this is a very much a freebie. Northeast, we have huge mountains. That is pretty much all we've got going for us here. So I'm just going to try and line it up. Obviously, there's not many mountains in Korea, so it's going to be fairly easy to do so. That was irony, if you didn't catch it. I'm going to go in Daegu. They do have pretty big mountains downtown, so why not? Let's give that a go. And it was actually in Wonju there, which is interesting. Yeah, the mountains are kind of bigger there. I can see that on the map. Sucks. And the last one here. Can we redeem ourselves? We're in India. Okay, that could be good. It looks like we might be a bit bilingual here. So we have Hindi and we have some language on the top of it. I'm not sure what that would be. Could it be Maharati or whatever it's called? The Maharashtrian language. Maharati? Yeah, that could make sense. Although I don't really think they'd need two alphabets for that. Maybe it could be Gujarati? That could make more sense to me. Yeah, it could be Gujarati. This could be a number of places. I think my main ideas are just like Hyderabad, Mumbai, New Delhi. I guess if it's bilingual, probably more likely to be Mumbai or Hyderabad. All in all, maybe the soil does feel pretty good for Maharashtra. I might try Mumbai here. So let's have a look at the sign and see if we were right about that. Doesn't feel too bad now that I look around. That tree's a bit weird. Feels kind of like coastal, which is good. We have clicked on the coast. And what's this language? Oh, it's a southern language. Yeah, it's a southern language. That looks maybe like Telangana language or Kannada. Maybe. Okay, which is that? I can work it out pretty quickly here, I think. I think it looks most like Kannada? I think so. Or maybe it's not. It's like whatever the language they speak in Andhra Pradesh or Kannada, one of the two. So I would then probably say that this is Hyderabad. Maybe Bengaluru. Should be one of the two though. Let's find out here. And it was Hyderabad, yeah. That makes sense, and we end up with a very mid score here of 17,600. Just goes to show that actually if we could probably have seen the landscape, we would have ended up with a much better score. But the way it works is when you're on an urban round, you don't get that landscape information a lot of the time. So let's find out how GeoWizard actually performed on this one. And yeah, somewhat unsurprisingly, he comes up with a 21,000 score. Nailing the Ohio, that's really no surprise. Got the Switzerland, not the right city. Got the South Korea, not the right city. Missed the India by a bit more than me, so we beat him there. And then it looks like he must have nailed the Brazil as well. So yeah, let's head through to another one here. Urban World again. I want this one to go a lot better. This looks like southern Chile to me. Some kind of southern Chilean, fairly big city. And we have a northwest, and we have a northwest angle, and we're looking northwest at some mountains as well. First thought, are we ever in Puente Arenas? Okay, so let's see the angles here. Northwest, I'm not seeing anything that particularly lines up in there, and also the Northwest Mountains, not really a feature of that city. Puerto Williams, that would be a wild one. I'm pretty sure this is not Puerto Williams, but I guess it theoretically is possible. I'm going to discount for that for the moment. Puerto Natales, on the other hand, that could be more like it. We do have angles that fit relatively well here. And northwest, we do have distant mountains. They could honestly look pretty decent here. The overcast coverage could also make sense here, and the concrete road. So that could maybe be a default guess for now. So northwest. That would be kind of like, yeah, the angle I think is right. Yes, I do think so. I do think the angle is right there. So, okay, that is my default guess for now. Let's check out some of the other big city options here. Okay, this one, which I can never pronounce, Coyhaique. That also has some angles that fit fairly well, and some mountains that are about the same size and distance. So I guess that would be my second option, but that's a fair distance away from this one. I'm thinking I'm gonna go for it. Let's take a look around, see if I like my guess. Okay, we have South Mountains as well. It's feeling less good for where I've guessed. Oh yeah, quite significantly less good. It still could be correct, but I would want to switch my guess to the further north one at this point, I think. Do we have the place name there? No. But let's, oh, is that Cafafate? I think I know that place. No, I was thinking of El Calafate, but clearly this is Chile, not Argentina. Let's send it in here. I think it's very unlikely with this ridge that we are going to be in the correct place, but we were. Okay. Sometimes NMPZ works out better than no moving, and we got the right city there, which is pretty damn impressive, I would say. So we were looking at these mountains, and they just kind of look like that. Okay, interesting. Won't complain about that at all. 715 meters away. That's the kind of start I wanted. Next one here is urban Japan without many useful pole tops. This is going to be pretty painful, I think. Oh my goodness. Almost have a terrific clue here. There is some kind of a highway number here, which is just covered up by the glare of the sun. I think it says 116 or 118. I'm just scanning the major cities to see if I can see that number anywhere. It's not become apparent to me yet. I mean, obviously, Tokyo would be the default guess here, but I don't know, it just didn't necessarily give me massive Tokyo vibes. Yeah, I guess when the pole top makes a square like this, then Tokyo probably is the correct option. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but I think that's probably, like, it's a nice central hedge. Tokyo is pretty central within Japan, so I'm gonna go for it here. 122. It clearly doesn't say that on the sign. I would love to see a number that at least, like, somewhat corresponds, maybe down here. There's just so many. There's just so many, like, numbers here. It's kind of absurd. Didn't see any 118. Ooh. See, that's something now. I think it's 116, but 118, at least it could be. So that would put us right here, I guess. And we're going west-northwest. So even the angle is pretty good here. So let's, I mean, if we got that, that would actually be crazy. Let's find out if we're right. Okay, it was actually in Niigata. Which highway? 113. Okay, that's fair enough. We made a slightly better guess because of misreading it. So, and also our vibes were pretty decent as well. So that's not too bad, not too bad. Next one here. We are in Albania. We got double blue strips. I don't know, it just doesn't look like Italy. So Italy and Albania are the only countries to do that. I'm thinking I would just slam it in one of the bigger towns here. It feels fairly nice. Kind of maybe a seaside vibe. Not entirely sure about that. Could see definitely Jerez working here. Could see Skåre, I don't know, Skåre working quite nicely as well. I think Jerez would be my main thought here. West-northwest, huh? So northwest, but slightly more westerly. Don't really see them. Okay, we'd be like around here then, I think. Northwest, but a bit more west. Yeah. Something like that. Could certainly work. Obviously, Tirana is also a decent shout, but we're not too far away if we guess here. And Vellore, do they have a big grid like this? Okay. Also a decent angle here. Decently working, but I think I prefer Jerez. Let's find out if we're right about that. Okay, it was instead Korče. In Albania, you're never too far away, so that's a decent score still. I think we still may be ahead of GeoWizard if you missed the first round here. And we're headed through to a Costa Rica. Not something you see too often here, but yeah, this is Costa Rica tracker. And mostly it's San Jose, I would say. And we do appear to be like in the cradle of a big mountain here. Huge one to our north there. I think that fits for San Jose's topography. Yeah, it does. So yeah, I'm just going to guess downtown San Jose here, I think. And take my 3 points, I reckon. And it was there, 1 kilometer away. We probably could have got the park, but you know, it was a matter of 5 points. That's fine by my books. And the last one here is probably in Senegal. It's very sandy. We got those big wooden poles. Surely this is not the classic tuba round. Although I feel like I kind of want to guess tuba just to pay homage to the greatest guess of all time on GeoGuessr. But it's probably just one of these cities kind of near where I've clicked anyway, so I don't mind that. Probably Tees would be more likely to me, you know, because it is fairly lush here. Kind of feels like closer to Dakar, this kind of more tree-filled area. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tees here. I want to go Tuba, but I just don't really believe it. So let's find out. And it was Tees. Okay, that's a really good guess as well. And we come out with a 23,831, which is honestly a fantastic result, but we're gonna have to see how GeoWizard did right now. Okay, we actually came out with the win there, 23,216. That was a lot of fun. It seems like GeoWizard actually missed the same rounds that I did here. Just slightly further away in Senegal, I saw, but yeah, similar mistakes on the Albania and the Japan. Interesting one indeed. I think I will return to these GeoWizard challenge maps at some point, so let me know if that's something you'd like to see. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, and goodbye.